All right, welcome to the video. My name is Wade Smith, and I am a third-degree brown belt in Isshinryu karate. Um, this video is about Isshinryu and Andi Gung Fu's oxbow strike, and what is oxbow strike and why you use it. Well, the oxbow strike hits with the back of your wrist. All right, and one reason why you might want to at least be aware that this strike is available because it's like the last resort strike. It's not going to be your preferred strike most of the time. Um, but why you might want to use this is suppose you've thrown a punch or several punches to your opponent's head and you broke your knuckles. You've actually punched so hard that you broke your own knuckles across one or more bones in your opponent's body. And so now you can no longer throw a punch because it hurts too much. Um, then you might have to use an oxbow strike against your opponent, some portion of your opponent's body, or neck, or face, or head, to finish them off. For people who are familiar with the UFC Ultimate Fighting Championship, if you can get it, I would recommend looking at Season 8, UFC 8, when it was still a 8-man tournament where you fought 3 times in one day. If I remember correctly, it's entitled Ultimate Fighting Championship 8, or maybe it's 7, whichever one it is. It's either 7 or 8, and it's entitled David versus Goliath. Um, and I don't remember their names, but there was a striker who was about 175 to 185 pounds, if I remember correctly, and he got matched up against a sumo wrestler who went about 450 pounds on foot. All right, uh, and he, um, of course, you got to stay away from that sumo wrestler, but he used his striking and his speed and agility to stay away from him. But he hit, of course, the sumo wrestler's body is pretty much impervious to the striking of a 175 to 185 pound man. All right. So he had to punch him in the face over and over again while staying just outside of his range and using his speed not to get hit or tackled or or grasped or grappled. And so he hit the gentleman like 100 times in the head or some odd. And eventually he broke his own hand and knuckles over the sumo wrestler's um, head. And he just switched because he knew it was there into a natural, because he used hammer fists and punches. And then he just eventually started using even the same hand at times to oxbow strike. All right, because at one point the sumo wrestler eventually tripped and fell, so to finish him off, he was just oxbow striking him like this over and over again, full power. All right, and it was different oxbow strikes and hammer fists and whatever with the other hand, and he hit him in like 100 and something times in the head, full power, whatever class he was, 175 to 185 pounds, because they had no weight classes back then. Whoever you drew, and you fought regardless of weight. Um, So that's why you might want to use an oxbow strike in a real fight. Is supposing you broke your knuckles or other fingers in your hand, and it just hurts too darn much to hit with the hand itself. You still got the back of your wrist. That's like the last resort, not the first resort, because you could throw elbow strikes if you got a chance as well. But this has twice the range, even though it's not a fist. It has twice the range of a back elbow. So, you know, in a situation where you still need to keep your range, the oxbow strike is may be better once in a while in some situation than an elbow or back elbow strike, just because it's got twice the range. All right, I think that's self-explanatory now that it's been introduced, and some of you may not even have heard of an oxbow strike, and some of you may be quite familiar with it. So it just depends on your training and experience, and that's what an oxbow strike is. You can also use it under the chin if you've broken your hand and still need to hit them under the chin. You can use the back of your wrist or the front of your forearm to hit them under the chin in the trachea, larynx, esophagus, so forth, or under the jaw itself. Okay, so if you broke your hand, you do have other options. All right, that's what the oxbow strike is primarily for. Thank you very much.